I think Money 2020 is the Coachella of financial services industry. Everybody's here, the big bands, the big players, and also lots of startups. And for us, that's really interesting.
Here on the ground at Money 2020, we're talking everything about the future of finance, including banking. And my next guest has more to share on that front. Here with me in studio at Money 2020 is Immy Spence. He's the VP of Commercial for the UK and Europe at Airwallex. Immy, welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you with me here at Money 2020 Europe in Amsterdam. And your company, in fact, has some big news as of just a few weeks ago. What more can you share?
Yeah, still very fresh, very proud to announce we raised 300 million in our Series F round. Takes our valuation up to 6.2 billion. Huge sign of confidence, I would say, in our business. I think from a fintech perspective, we're obviously at Money 2020. Raising money, I think, in the current environment and increasing that valuation is a huge sign of confidence. And really ratifies what we're building, which is the future of global banking, empowering businesses to operate without borders in a global way.
Mm-hmm. How is Airwallex going to use this new funding to continue on that mission?
Yeah, so I think there's two main things. So, from a business perspective, we operate, we have 23 offices, very global. We started in APAC and quite atypically expanded to the West. So, we have a large presence in the UK, building our presence in Amsterdam, in France. I think a lot of focus is going to be on that expansion piece. So we'll use some of that money to expand into new markets. Certainly the DACH region is really interesting to us. And then on the second piece, we provide financial infrastructure. So effectively allowing businesses to bring money in, do something with that money, pay it out globally. There's a ton of surface area that we can start investing in on the product side. So things like M&A and things like that are going to be super interesting for us in the coming year.
What is your role as the VP of Commercial at Airwallex?
So I look after our sales team. So we have a sales team on the ground in London, in Amsterdam, as well as France. And then we also have another office in Israel as well, covering kind of that EMEA region. My role really is to, attract the talent into the team. Hopefully the best people, that can come and get those career halos working for, a hyper-growth fintech company. So really, the sales function would be under my remit, as well as our partnerships function as well. So selling through various distribution partners. And demand generation from our SDR team as well. So yeah, the full gamut of commercial.
Yeah, and what is this next year have in store for Airwallex?
I think it sees us really kind of deepen our strategy, which is, if you take a step back, a lot of the last, I would say 10 years, you've had fintechs and financial services companies who are really good at one thing. What we're seeing from our customers is there's real demand for an end-to-end solution. So from a CFO perspective, your office as CFO, you have your accounts receivable, the money that you bring into the business, and then your accounts payable, paying your suppliers, paying your employees. From our perspective, our strategy is to become the end-to-end player, that one who's redefining global banking. As I mentioned, it's huge surface area, and we're going to really deepen that strategy in the next year in Europe, in the US, in APAC.
What trends are you seeing in international business right now?
I think the one that's most interesting, I think, to us is globalization. There's obviously been, shall we say, some fun and games on the tariff space, I would say, in the last few months. We're not seeing a whetting of any appetite or dampening of any appetite for UK, European businesses to go international. Obviously, the environment's very much changed for them. We see our role as helping them navigate those trends. Be it paying suppliers in the US, those companies who sell physical goods in the US are kind of impacted by those tariffs. Providing that infrastructure to help them navigate that, the currency exposure and those things, that is something that is still very much at the fore. I think the other thing that is really interesting to us is obviously AI. AI is exciting for everybody who's a technologist. Financial services is an industry that's ripe for innovation with AI. we are seeing a lot of investment internally in how we're building our product, how we're serving our customers, internationally using AI across the stack, which is super interesting, exciting as well, I think, for us.
And what brings you to Money 2020 Europe?
So lots of things. I think Money 2020 is the Coachella of financial services industry. Everybody's here, the big bands, the big players, and also lots of startups. And for us, that's really interesting. We have customers that we meet here, but we also have partners that we meet as well. And on a personal level, it's a great hiring place. I'm meeting some candidates today to hopefully close. A lot of the talent centers on this event. So it's the primary event, and if you're in fintech, you kind of have to be here.
Anything more our viewers should know, Immy?
I think, from our perspective, I think we are kind of a dark horse, I think, in financial services and fintech. We have a huge presence in APAC, but we are building a real business in Europe, in North America. And one of the things that I'm really excited about, and we just actually launched today, is we've just started a partnership with Bolt, the ride-sharing company, similar to Uber, who effectively provide ride-sharing, food delivery services. We're the default partner for them to effectively launch financial services to their driver base, which is really exciting and kind of it really ratifies our strategy with those platform and marketplace businesses who seem to have huge presence here, but also in the US as well. So I think see us more in that landscape in the coming year.
Immy, thank you so much for your time. Great to catch up with you here at Money 2020 Europe.
Thank you so much.